Well, good morning, Evangel. We're going to continue reading today from Tim Keller's book, God's Wisdom for Navigating Life. And this one references a single verse in Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 19. And it says this: "A hot-tempered person must pay the penalty. Rescue them, and you will have to do it again." One's own worst enemy is the title. The first clause literally says in the Hebrew that the characteristically angry person carries around punishment. This means that no one has to slap some kind of penalty or fine on the angry man or woman. Their loss of temper always entails natural consequences that they can't escape. For example, it leads people who see the blow-up to not trust the person as much as they did before. But we should not imagine that a hot-tempered person is necessarily always someone who is melting down in rage. There is a kind of Christian who is habitually abrasive, critical, and ungenerous in dealing with people. They are seldom affirming and usually undiplomatic. They are prone to harsh language and cutting humor, and they bristle easily when contradicted. What is behind all this unattractive behavior? It is an undercurrent of anger, like a hidden underground stream rather than a visible one that's on the surface that noisily rushes over stones. The second clause tells us that people prone to anger are constantly getting themselves into new trouble. They are their own worst enemies. How have any of these various forms of anger brought its consequences into your life in the past? And then he shares this prayer: "Lord, I know anger is not always wrong, but it is seldom righteous when it appears in my life. Help me detect where it is flowing in my life. I will need both your humbling grace and your assuring love if my anger is going to be subdued. Please supply them." Amen. Well, I know in so many cases I am my worst enemy, that there are roots of pride and anger in my life that either go unconfessed or unacknowledged. And those are the ones that seem to cause the recurring issues with anger in my own life. So what do we do with those? Well, we have to be honest about them. We have to acknowledge them before the Lord. In our time and seeking His power and strength for the day, we have to acknowledge those areas, so that in that acknowledgement and confession, He can pour in His grace, and by the power of His Holy Spirit, give us release. We need it. Others need it. Well, God's presence is what we need for every trial of the day. And I pray that as you walk through the course of today, you would walk in awareness of His presence and His love for you. He loves you more than you can imagine. So I pray for your day that it be blessed, and know and don't ever forget, we love you and we miss you. Have a great day.